Welcome guys to another video on this channel, but not any video, because today is the start of something new on this channel, and that will be this new series that I'm gonna do that is makeup and ghost stories. And I have not come up with a better name for it yet. Please feel free to give me any good ideas, but for now it will be makeup and ghost stories. There is another YouTuber that does this already, and I want to give the biggest shout out to her because I got this idea from her, and that is Beverly that does more like true crime. So she does mystery and makeup Mondays, I think she calls it. I just wanted to do my own thing. I'm gonna talk about like ghost stories, creepypastas, more like ghost paranormal stuff. And not so much true crime, and I hope you love scary stories as much as I do. And today we are going to talk about a story that has a little bit of a personal connection to me, because it is about my hometown, Gävle. If you live in Sweden, you might know of this town or not. It's not a big town, but it's not like super small either. So grab a drink, grab some snacks, and let's get started. This haunting takes place at a hotel where I used to work. It is a haunted hotel, and it's kind of known for being haunted. It's not something they like shy away from. And the hotel we're talking about today is the Clarion Hotel Wynn, that is located in, as I said, Gävle, which is a town in Sweden. I worked at this hotel back when I first graduated from school, so it was a couple years ago, not that long, I'm not that old, and I worked there for give or take about 3 months over summer, so from June to late August. As soon as I started working there, like the first days, I learned that the hotel was haunted from my colleagues that had worked there for a longer time. And I think they tell everybody that is new at this hotel about the ghosts. Probably like for fun, but maybe like to warn them in case anything would ever happen. My job was basically cleaning hotel rooms. I cleaned in the mornings when the guests had either checked out or left their room for the day, and we would go in and clean their rooms. So hotel cleaning, they keep brochures in every hotel room, so they have a like short description of like which rooms are haunted and why. They don't know exactly why, but like who is haunting them. So you can find that in every room. There is this little folder that you can read. I found that interesting, but not interesting enough that I would actually read one of these brochures. So I just steered clear of that. I did not read it. I was like, okay, fun, there's ghosts. I'm not gonna check in which room, because I don't know, like probably because I knew that if I read that and then had to go work in that room, I would chicken out. Like I would not have wanted to work in a haunted room because yeah, because so I never read it. Little did I know that I would not have to read these brochures to know which room were haunted. The building itself looks like any other hotel you would find. It doesn't look like old or spooky. It's in the middle of the town square, and it is the biggest hotel in Gävle, in like the entire city. The hotel opened in 1984. The night staff is the staff that has the most to tell about this hotel. During the late hours, the elevators will have a life of their own. Like they will continuously go up to the top floor as if to get someone in the middle of the night, and then they will return down to the lobby. They will be empty. And this happens like a lot. It's not like a thing that occurred once. At one point, the night personnel at the front desk heard the elevator go to the top floors of the otherwise deadly quiet hotel in the middle of the night. A few minutes passes and the elevator comes down as if to drop someone off at the bottom floor, and this person gets ready to greet them, as one does when you work in the front desk. She was like, she had a hello at the tip of her tongue, but when the elevator doors open, no one's there. A few nights later, when she is working the late shift again, the telephone rings at the front desk, and on the display of the phone it says that this call is coming from the pool and spa area of the hotel. She picks up, there's no one there. She can just hear like a faint buzzing noise at the other end of the phone. When she starts to think for a moment, she realizes that the pool area closed down years ago and it doesn't have a phone. Like, no way to call the front desk. No one can go there. So she panics and she hangs up, as one would do. Another night working, she can hear the restaurant bell ring, which I guess is the bell you ring when the food is ready, so the servers can come and get the food. And she can hear that bell clear as day in the middle of the night, and she gets terrified because she knows there's no one else there. It's locked and the alarm is on. She's the only one there. Moving on to the C section of the hotel, allegedly the most haunted part. It is an early morning when a lady comes down to the front desk panic, and she tells the staff how she was drying her hair with the hairdryer, sitting in front of the mirror, when suddenly someone takes a strong grip of the chair she's sitting on and drags it backwards with like full force, so like powerful that she falls like down to the floor, because it's like dragging the chair backwards to the floor. So she obviously falls to the floor. The chair is smashed to pieces and she's so scared. An invisible force just dragged her, like her and the chair, to the floor. She obviously panics. She runs out of that room as fast as she can and just down to the front desk. She did not want to come back to that room after that. Something that happens very often is that angry guests will come down to the front desk in the morning or in the middle of the night and just complain about having loud neighbors, and they will be like very upset, like very angry, like what is going on. We can hear banging on the walls. It's been going on for hours, like loud bangs. They can hear furniture being dragged across the floor, and every time personnel and the guests go up to check what is going on, the next door room is not even rented out. There has been no one staying there all night, and this would happen so frequently that they had to stop renting out all the rooms that were like beside these very active rooms. So, to paint the picture for you guys, the C section of this hotel has long halls with dark red carpets, no windows and brown doors. So the rooms that are known for being the most haunted is the rooms 178 and 179. It's one of the old suites, so one of the bigger rooms, and the other one is just the next door room that is a regular room, like any other. It doesn't look any suspicious at all, so you would never know if you stepped in there. The day came when yours truly was doing her morning rounds, just doing her job. Usually how it works is that you have a cleaning cart, you have a list of the rooms you're gonna clean, and usually we worked in pairs. We would work 2 and 2 or more. This day I was in the C section and my colleague went to lunch, and she went with some other staff that she knew because everybody kind of knew each other, and they were all going to lunch together that day. I was left by myself and I stepped in to a seemingly normal room, but when I stepped into that room I got the weirdest feeling. Like I got this feeling of just not wanting to be there at all. Like, the room just felt almost like claustrophobic and very like compressed. Went in, started cleaning. I always used to do the bathrooms first. And when I got to the part where you are making the beds, that is usually the last part. So I only had one bed to make, and I'm standing right next to the bed, and I get this strange feeling, like the hairs on my neck just stood up. Any minute now, somebody's gonna like touch my back, because it felt like a presence right behind my back. You know when you can just feel somebody standing close to you, you can just feel like they're this close to you. And that is the feeling I got. I was like, I freezed. I just stood there and I was like, no. Remember, I did not read anything about the haunting working there. I did not know which rooms it applied to. I don't want to be here. I'm not like welcome in here. So I made that bed faster than I have made anything in my life, and I ran out of there. I went to another part of the hotel, like the same floor but like a different section, and I went into a vacant room, grabbed the brochure for the first time, and of course I had just clean one of the most haunted rooms. Yes, we're doing purple contour. Typical stuff that would happen on this floor. One of the staff would clean a room in this section, and she left a box of matches on the nightstand in the hotel room, and then go on to clean the bathroom. And when she came back into the room, the matches would be on the floor, and she was like, okay, we are moving on to another floor of the hotel that is said to be very haunted. And can you guess which floor that is? Any guesses? Anyone? The basement, of course. Like, does anything good ever happen in basements? I don't think so. The things that will happen down there is the washing machines that are made for like the guest bed sheets, towels, very big washing machines and dryers. The washers and dryers will turn on and off by themselves, and as soon as you leave the room, the washing machine will turn off. And this only happens if you leave the room. Like, if you were to sit in the room and like watch the washing machines, they would not turn off. Weird. There's these stories from personnel down in the basement taking a break, I think, or just chilling on the job. I don't know. But anyhow, this person had been sitting there. All of a sudden, she hears footsteps. The footsteps are coming closer, and they're coming down the hall, and these are loud footsteps. They're from high-heeled shoes. So she sticks her head out into the hallway, and there's no one there. This occurred a few times down there, so you will hear a woman's shoes coming down the hallway. When you look, nothing there. And this seems to be like a thing that happens a lot at this hotel, that it will mostly be noises and things moving. After all of these encounters, they decided to like figure out more about who's haunting this place. They did some digging into what the building used to be before it was a hotel. This building used to be a widow's home, basically an apartment building where only widows were allowed to live. And this was a 2-story wooden house, and it was built 1800s. This could be a widow that just found a connection with this hotel, she never left. Or it is said that this ghost was a woman called Julia that used to be a waitress nearby at a beer bar. So there was a bar that also burned down. So 1869, there was a devastating fire in the whole city that wiped out most of the city. This fire killed a lot of people, including the people staying in this building. Somehow they determined at this hotel that this could be the woman haunting the basement, the restaurant. After that, they decided to give her her own share, and this is the most like famous part of this story. Not a shrine, but kind of. This chair is only meant for the ghost. Guests are not allowed to ever sit there, and if someone were to sit there, they will get up almost immediately, every time. I don't know if that is because a personnel will tell them or because they will feel a discomfort. Every morning, the hotel personnel serves Julia morning coffee. So they bring the coffee over to her table, and every evening she gets wine. And it also says that they would bring her like soup or something easily chewed. Okay, I know what you're thinking. I skipped filming a lot right now, but drawing a giant spider on your lip while telling a story is not something anyone should have to go through. I just started hating this makeup and I had to deal with it. To conclude, I think this hotel is haunted. If you're ever in my hometown, you should stay a night at the hotel. Maybe stay in the room 178 or 179 and see for yourself. So what do you guys? And I just wanted to thank you for watching. If you have any ghost stories you want me to talk about or any subjects, you could always drop them in the comments, and maybe they will be in a future ghosts and makeup video. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this spooky time, and I'll talk to you guys next time.